I think we can all agree that a soft hand is critical when talking to these advisors because these are their biggest clients and these are their biggest cases. And so for us to be able to be level headed with them to help them get to the bottom of the actual problem, like you talked about, it helps them feel more confident, even though this is their biggest case ever.
Well, one of the things I would say is that if you get a client who calls in or an advisor who calls in with a current scenario to where there's on paper, at least the math wise with estate planning and gift, like there's some gap of liquidity that insurance can solve. Like we don't automatically assume that we can help them. There's a lot of information that we need to be able to determine if we can help clients with their specific situation. And although maybe we've never seen a client in the years that we've worked here who has it all 100% in good order with no exposure, that doesn't mean that we haven't met clients that just don't want to solve the problem, right? And so we don't assume that we can help everybody because we don't know if clients want to solve the problem, if they're educated on it. We've had a client last year who spent $250,000 on estate planning and meeting with estate attorneys that didn't understand the difference between taxation in an irrevocable trust versus their personal estate. So we can't assume that clients, if they've done a certain amount of planning or are worth a certain amount of money, have the education. Two, we do a lot of foundational work, even though every solution is different. I think the foundation is pretty similar, right? And getting a profile exactly what the scenario is and what the goals are important. At the end of the day, you can't jump at the prospect of helping clients solve these massive problems without knowing if they want to solve them. So a lot of the times when we meet, an advisor says, I have this opportunity, I'm meeting this client tomorrow, he's worth $50 million and or she's worth $100 million and owns a wealthy business, like let's run $40 million insurance. Like, a lot of the times we'll say we'll get on the call and we'd love to meet the client, but we're not in a position to give advice at this point because we're not sure if we could help them. And I think that helps clients understand that their advisor is bringing somebody in who's got a process, who's not focused on sales, who's focused on getting information versus giving information, and all of those things that help clients understand that you've got a team around you that is going to make sure if they recommend something that it is perfect. And I think that's how we've been able to help advisors scale their business. That's how we've been able to help the wealthiest, smartest clients in the world make these decisions that are going to protect them for the next 50 years, is really going in with an open mind and saying, regardless of how good it looks on paper, we can't assume that we can help them until we have more information.